I'm about to show you a clip of a Palestinian man grieving for his family slaughtered by Israeli weapons in Gaza, forcibly dragged out from a Labour Party meeting in Stockport, my hometown. And then I'm going to speak to him. But before I do, I just want to say this. My blood boiled when I saw this clip on social media. I felt fury and shame. I've never felt ashamed to be from Stockport before. I joined the Labour Party in Stockport when I was 15 years old. Those two politicians I saw standing there, Angela Rayner, deputy leader of the Labour Party, who grew up literally round the corner from me, literally round the corner. Jonathan Reynolds, shadow business secretary. I have campaigned alongside both of them repeatedly. I've done fundraisers for Stockport Labour, like that one, with them. In fact, on one occasion, I stayed at Jonathan Reynolds' house. And to watch them stand there, and those Stockport Labour activists, many of whom undoubtedly I've met, maybe even grew up with, campaigned alongside, do nothing while that grief-stricken man was dragged out of that room, is one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen in my entire life. And the shame of that, the shame should be carried by those people for the rest of their lives. And I'm not pulling my punches here. That's what I think, that's my job. I'm here to say what I think. And to just be in a situation where the Labour Party has ended up lining up behind war crimes to the extent where grieving Palestinians feel they have no choice but to stand up to a Labour Party which has failed to put pressure on the Conservative government and allowed the Tory government to get away with murder, and then just watch as they're dragged out. History will be a brutal judge. I'll show you the clip, and then let's speak to Dalal Neda, who's the Palestinian in question.
Thank you. Thanks, Johnny. And look, Tameside's going to save the world. That's why us three are up here. But
the change in this country has come when you take a place and asking and demanding for ceasefire. I lost my family in Gaza. Just a second, I want to show you my mom. I lost my family in Gaza. If the ceasefire is taking place,
I just say, Angela, you tell yourself as a feminist. What kind of feminist are you?
I lose my member. I need my mom. That's the only thing I need.
Where's your voice,
Let me finish. I need my mom. Why are you not demanding for a ceasefire?
15,000 women and children dead, Angela Rayner, and you tell yourself as a modern day feminist? I don't think so.
thank you.
Women having to use scraps, tents for sanitary towels. Where's your voice, Angela? Call yourself a feminist?
Thank you.
I really don't think so.
Jonathan Reynolds,
thank
you talk about
Praising genocide! Born
talk about
praising
power.
genocide!
You
You
had a
should be
chance to
ashamed
vote
of
on
yourself,
the ceasefire
Angela
bill.
Rayner.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Your vice chair of
Thank
Labour
you.
Friends of Israel, your friendly
Thank
Israeli
you.
president said he was waging,
You've
his
made
country
your
was
point,
waging
thank
a
you.
war against barbaric jihadists who wanted
Thank
to
you,
take
you've
over
made your
Europe.
point,
Jonathan
thank you.
Women
Reynolds,
dead every day, Angela. 2 women dead every day. 25,000 people dead, Angela, and rising.
shame!
Where's
Shame!
your voice?
Shame on all of you!
Shame on all of you. Absolute shame.
You say you
Shame.
want, you support the
Funding genocide.
You're funding genocide. 25. Don't you abstained from the vote to get us a ceasefire. Shame on you.
Shame on you.
25,000 people.
Shame on you all. And get your hands off her as well.
Touching me, hands off me.
Disgusting.
Hands off me. You're not arrest me. Ow, your hands off me. Get off me. You're hurting me. You're hurting me. No, get off me. No, don't get off me. Don't hurt me. Get off me. You're hurting. You're wasting my wrist. You're breaking my wrist. I didn't say it. You're breaking my wrist.
Thank you.
Dalal, I have to say, watching you as a grieving Palestinian from Gaza whose family have been killed in this horror, be dragged out by a police officer, and those Labour politicians and a crowd of Labour activists did nothing, is one of the most appalling things I've ever seen in my entire life. So all my solidarity to you.
Thank you.
Can we just talk about you, Dalal, who you're a teacher, you're from Gaza. So you left just before the war began.
Exactly, yeah, in September. I left in 2023 in September 21st of September last year.
Now, you spoke about your family
Yes.
in that clip, and we saw that. Understandably full of emotion, as anybody would be. I don't think that many of us can try and imagine what it's like to have gone through what you've gone, but we can't possibly know. Can you just tell me about your family and what happened?
In 3rd of December, actually, my family, my mom's, my brother's 2 nieces, and his wife pregnant. It has been in the house. Our house, actually, by the way, it is 3 stories, 6 flat. It has been hit and demolished by the Israeli government. In 3rd of December, as I mentioned, 5:30. My family being killed with the American weapons, being getting to kill our family. That means Israel have the green light to kill the Palestinian in Gaza. That has happened, and due to this, it has been in the house around 25 members from my family. I lost 5, and the rest of my family member, it has been injured. One of them, it was my daughter. She's 6 months, and my wife. It has been taken from under the rubble. My wife being bled to death under the rubble for around 3-4 hours. That's briefly what happens.
I mean, it's very difficult to even know what to say. I mean, can you tell us a bit about them?
To be honest, my mom, it is a lovely woman, the only thing I could see. My mom, such angels. My brothers, my family, I used to get the warmth, the love from them. I miss this voice, to be honest. Imagine your life without your parents, without your mom. I used to phone my mom and my family regularly. Since the war started, actually, I haven't get any chance to contact my family. And like my family, there is thousands of people, they're suffering, and their family being renewed for the same procedure and for the same strategy. Since the war started, since I lost my family, I managed to speak with my family only 2-3 times. And since I lost my family up to now, I haven't, might be really, if you could, as you are aware, Israel, it is disconnected the internet, the water, the food, the electricity, they are in a blockade. And we are not only in this state, we've been for ages, for decades under the occupation, since 75 years. We've been suffering, we've been struggling under the occupation. We won the war to stand and woke up, and you know, we've been let us down by the war. They're killing us, they're bombing us, now they're slaughtering. I don't know. We lost the weight. We couldn't express anymore about what we have seen and what's going on.
In terms of that Labour meeting, I mean, defenders of, I guess, ultra loyal Labour activists or Labour MPs or whatever would go, we're not in government. We're the Conservatives in government. Why protest against us? What would you say to that?
To be honest, the Labour Party, I know it is not in a power, and the Conservative, obviously, they are in the power, but they are the opposition for the Conservative Party. And if the Labour Party not calling for a ceasefire, we're not going to build this pressure to ask for ceasefire. It doesn't make sense to be in the same position. If they doesn't call for a ceasefire and a serious step to stop this genocide, serious action, they're not going to build a pressure for the whole world and ask Israel to stop this genocide. That's one of the main reasons.
So basically, we end up in a situation where the Conservatives think, well, we're not under
exactly. And that doesn't make sense to be in the same situation. You must call for the ceasefire to build this pressure and make things happen.
Because at the moment, Rishi Sunak knows, well, it doesn't matter. I'm under no pressure from the opposition, so why should I?
They are officially elected the Labour Party. That's why.
I mean, Keir Starmer, when he stood for leader in 2020, said that he would put human rights at the heart of a Labour foreign policy. What do you think about that now?
Things change. I haven't seen anything. It is changed seriously to take a serious. That's like he's marketing himself in the beginning, but now we haven't seen anything. It has been taken seriously to save this humanity. They are criminal. They are guilty. They are responsible for my family bloods, and the thousands of family like my family's thousands of family have been killed. More than 20,000. Those family, imagine if they vote for the ceasefire about a month and a half ago, that means we could save thousands of family in Gaza. We could make things happen, but they didn't.
This week, a Labour MP told the truth. He stood up, well, in my view, he stood up in Parliament and he said that Rishi Sunak, the Prime Minister, had blood on his hands. And other MPs started yelling, furious. And then the Labour leadership forced him to apologise and threatened to kick him out the Labour Party if he didn't. So you have Labour MPs who are allowed to support a mass slaughter of Gaza, which has killed your family and so many others. That's fine. But if you stand up and say the Prime Minister has complicity given Britain sells arms to Israel and supports Israel in its offensive, that's outrageous. What do you think of that?
To be honest, the British government with the Rishi Sunak, it is completely complicity in this genocide. And the Labour Party as well. You know, I would like to comment in this point with a different thing, but will be linked and related. Who do you think will be his membership suspended? Tony Blair or Jamie Corbyn? I'm just asking.
Well,
That makes sense.
And that's the same Tony Blair who works for, he gets paid by dictatorships, millions of pounds. His big institution, the Tony Blair Institute. That's fine. You can stay in the Labour Party. In terms of, I mean, Keir Starmer, again, at the beginning of this, he said Israel had the right to cut off water and energy.
Nothing. Yeah, just keep going.
Oh, to Gaza. I mean, that goes against the Geneva Conventions, just so everyone's aware. But also the ruling by the the International Criminal Court, the highest court in the world, made it clear that one of the main rulings is Israel has to allow access to water, food, all the rest of it. How do you feel about the fact that the Labour leader at the beginning of this endorsed war crimes?
That's completely. It is. That's a significant sign from the ICJ for Keir Starmer and all those complicity with Israel that they are already guilty and they are in this genocide. They are already in the same path. You know, as long as we talk about this humanitarian thing, I don't think so. There is anything justify what happened in Gaza about killing, cutting the water, the food, and standing with this action and encourage them to do so far. This is, you are complicity with them. So what I mean, the ICJ, as long as they will they book like they will announce the list about if Israel, they ask Israel actually to prevent the genocide and they try to protect the civilians or whatever. But this is a clear sign today from the ICJ for the Western leaders, especially I would like to comment on Keir Starmer's and Rishi Sunak, that they are complicity and in this genocide they are guilty. They are working hand by hand with this genocide, not to stop it or prevent it, no, but to encourage them and to just keep them going.
And that's such a crucial point because the ICJ ruled that there may well be a genocide being committed. There's a case to answer.
Exactly, and that's we will see it later on in next week, 2 weeks. That will be clearly. Imagine if they already declare that Israel committed genocide in Gaza. What about these leaders? What about Keir Starmer? What his position in this case? Rishi Sunak, Biden, or whatever.
And that's the point, because the ICJ couldn't make that ruling definitively today. The most they could do, say genocide could be happening. So that leaves the likes of Keir Starmer, Rishi Sunak, Western media outlets in a position where they cheered on and supported something now being investigated as genocide by the highest court on earth.
Yeah.
Dulu, I just want to end by saying, look, the vast majority of people watching or listening to this could not imagine what you've gone through. And the least
for your solidarity, and thanks for everyone standing with Palestine and trying to stop this genocide with whatever. As you know, we need to keep fighting. We need to keep asking for the ceasefire. Our leader, you know, the community must go outside, demonstration, make whatever they want possible to stop this genocide. Yeah, that's what and I'm really appreciate your interview on Jones, and I'm proud to meet you. Thank you very much. Thanks for your lovely soul and behavior. Opinions.
It's the least I can do, and I hope it's restored some faith in people from Stockport, to say the least. But as I've said, the least we can do is to stand by you, and the fact that people in that room didn't do anything as you spoke about your family being killed and dragged up by police officers.
Frustrated, to be honest. That's a frustrated point. I haven't to be expect that to. I never expected, to be honest. I'm being thought I will be given that chance to talk and just spread this message. I'm one of the 1,000 being suffering from these things, and when I want to spread, I'll share my story with the others. The point is not to spread violence or anything. I'm just spreading the truth. I want you to listen to see. I'm one of those people. Here I'm I'm live example for you. Okay, here you are. That's what it is. My message, to be honest.
Thanks so much, Dalil. Honestly, I think all of us, everyone watching or listening will be very touched. Everyone watching it, please do share, press likes, get the message out. Dalil, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Oh, nice to meet you. Thank you.